So, I've been playing Zenless Zone Zero pretty much non-stop since it launched globally, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty chill and easy game, but after putting in a ton of hours and reaching Intronaut level 45, this final node in Hollow Zero became available, and it's called Nest, or Withering Garden Core. Now, the first time I did it, it was easy. However, to my surprise, the game then allows you to retry this challenge with 11 different modifiers. You can enable 3 of them at first, but then gradually, after each run, more modifiers can be enabled until finally you can do this challenge with all 11 modifiers enabled. And let me tell you, the game has been kicking my butt when doing this 11 out of 11 Hollow Zero mode. Seriously, the difficulty spike is significant. And in today's video, I want to talk about this specific challenge, share some tips and thoughts about it. I know that some people online have been debating whether ZZZ is easy or not, and I understand this frustration. But in this video, I just want to show you my own experience when it comes to this last challenge, and hopefully you can prepare for this before hitting level 45 yourself, because when looking at my current friends list, most of you are going to reach it pretty soon. And keep in mind, this is an optional challenge. No one's forcing you to do it. Although, if you are able to clear all 11 modifiers, you can get a tuning calibrator as a reward along with more goodies. And currently, there's only 4 calibrators you can get in the game, so it's a pretty scarce resource. But it's really helpful if you want to craft a disk drive with selected substat. So yeah, let me show you everything about this final Hollow Zero challenge, because there's a lot of details and tips you probably don't want to miss out on. But first, this video is sponsored by Pocket Champs, a free-to-play mobile game available on iOS and Android where you race with other players to become the best coach there is. And to be the best, you need to train your champ, improve running, swimming, climbing and flying, because each world is different. And you'll also want to use many of the different gadgets in the game to help you win that sweet first place. Now, I love the fact races just play themselves, so I can chill while I'm doing my dailies and gacha games, and the game has tons of events like the Community Rush. All players are working right now to unlock rewards for everyone by contributing travel distances from any race, and you also get entered into a giveaway for a surprise gift. So make sure to download Pocket Champs by using my link in the description or by scanning the QR code shown here and obtain $15 worth of rewards, which includes 500 gems and this super cute ice cream skin for your champ. And the first 50 people who download this game using my link by clicking the same link again will be added to my friends list, and the top 3 highest trophies in my friends list will receive extra gem rewards. So thank you Pocket Champs for partnering with me, and I'll see you in the game. Okay, so first things first, let me just play some footage of me fighting these elite enemies you will find at the end of each floor. This is going to be the biggest blocker when it comes to clearing the whole mode with all 11 modifiers enabled. And the main culprits here are the last 2 modifiers. You see, normally the elites are pretty easy. You just smack them around, build a daze bar, and unleash chain attacks. Sure, you will try to parry and dodge their attacks, but even if you get hit, it's no big deal. But with the last 2 modifiers, things become very serious. And I think the most annoying one here is this one. Attacks from elite and boss enemies reduce characters' energy and decibels. I mean, look at this. These 2 annoying big dumb robots have been a hellish fight for me, and I just obtained enough decibels to do an ultimate with Ellen. Nuh-uh, says the sneaky giant behind the robot I'm beating up. He starts shooting bullets at me. I don't even see them because the big guy is in front of me blocking my view. And look at this. I literally lost more than 8,000 decibel points, which is really bad. Not only that, but getting hit also makes me lose energy, as you can see here, and this is arguably the most important resource for any character to deal good damage. Okay, so after this modifier, the last one says all enemies are enhanced in all aspects. Now, I'm not sure what this means, but from my own experience, and I hope I'm not wrong here, not only do enemies become much more aggressive, but they also gain a ton of HP. Before these last 3 modifiers, doing a run with 8 out of 11 modifiers was pretty easy. I could destroy the enemies really fast, no matter if it's an elite or the last pink boss you get to face at the end. However, this final modifier really amps things up in a bad way. But there's also another very nasty modifier, and it's this one. Bosses have 50% higher daze and recover from the stun 100% faster. Now, I believe when you face the elite enemies at the end of each floor, they are treated as bosses because, my god, it takes ages to build up their daze bar, and I'm using a stunner unit such as Lycon here. Oh, and another really important thing, you can track your assist points down here, and these points allow you to use perfect assist with teammates. You know, when you see the golden glow and press the switch button, the next teammate either parries or does an evasive dodge and slows time. Now, you start every fight with 6 points, but because the enemies are super aggressive with all the modifiers, mainly because of the last one, you're gonna run out of them in like a few seconds. And then, without assist points, the golden glow becomes red and you can only dodge these attacks. And dodging, you will do a lot of it in fact. Now, to restore these points, you will need to unleash chain attacks, each one restoring 1 point, and using the ultimate restores 3 of them. But because the boss or elite enemy's daze bar is so hard to build up fast, a lot of the fights will be just you dodging until the enemy's daze bar is finally built, and then you can stun them and start doing chain attacks. So overall, yeah, this mode is hellish. Enemies have insane amount of HP, especially the bosses and elites. The enemy's damage is significantly higher. Just check out Sokaku losing almost all of her HP from one attack, and then you will have a hard time building up the daze bar and utilizing assist points since they run out so fast. Not to mention the fact, each floor at the end will have 2 elites or bosses attacking you constantly, so there's very little time to unload a bunch of attacks. Oh, and did I forget to mention that if you swap out without doing a perfect assist, the previous teammate lingers for a bit on the battlefield and they can still get damaged? Yeah, it's not unique to this mode, but a general mechanic in the game. So be careful with switching in front of enemy attacks with red glow. Okay, so after all of this, what things can you do to have an easier time with this 11 modifiers challenge? Well, for starters, you definitely want to obtain every single upgrade from the license board. Now, it is going to be a grind because the last upgrades here cost a ton of points, and you will notice there are 3 colors of points you use. Each corresponds to a different node in Hollow Zero you must complete to earn those points. On average, beating the highest point stage takes about 20 minutes for me, but could be faster, and overall, it will take a while to unlock everything, but each upgrade will help a lot with this final challenge. Now, my biggest tip when grinding would be to add some teammates you would normally not use, because if you haven't noticed, Fire, Physical, Ice, and Electric Resonia only show up if you have that element teammate in the current run. I've been playing almost exclusively with Mono Ice team, but when grinding these points, I use one other element teammate to pick up any of the matching element Resonia. And the reason I do this is because if you talk to this person, by filling out the codex, you can obtain a bunch of polychrome, which is nice. So at least you're not just grinding the points for license board, but also obtaining polychrome as well. Now, the other big tip would be to prioritize obtaining the dodge Resonia. As I said before, you will run out of assist points very fast, so you will be dodging 24/7 basically. And this Resonia becomes super valuable, mainly these ones. Shuttlecock, I know, funny name, but it gives Vital View for 4 seconds, which slows time when triggering perfect dodge, and everyone also gains Agility stack, which restores 5 energy, plus at max 5 Agility stacks, the team enters counter state to deal 45% more damage. Then there's Rugby Ball, another really strong Resonia, but when it comes to lower rarity ones, Killer Paddle is great to help with survivability, Sneakers help you make perfect dodges easier, and Fencing Sword increases counter state by 5 seconds. So yeah, basically make sure to grab dodge Resonias, and if you want to, pick up that boost at the start of the hollow to increase their chances to appear. And of course, unlock all license board upgrades. Now, you might say, well, we are under-leveled, and this challenge will become much easier, maybe even a joke once we hit max level later down the line after a couple of months. I mean, look, I cannot confirm or deny this, because I don't know how easy this will become in the future. But as someone who has M6 Ellen Joe with her signature, I know, shame on me for being a dirty whale, but to my defense, I was trying to obtain all characters to make guides. Anyway, but even I am struggling really bad right now. And look at her stats. She's got decent crit rate damage ratio as well as attack, and her disc drives are pretty good. The last 2 are A rank, but I doubt they would help a ton if both of them were S rank. Point is, even with my account, I am still having trouble with this mode. And sure, I will hit Intronaut level 50 probably at the end of this week as I'm making this video, so I will be able to use maxed out level 60 characters. But still, I just wanted to share this info with you because I know a similar roguelike mode exists in Honkai Star Rail, and I don't recall being this bad when the game launched. There's also Shiyu Defense, the one with rotating 7 stages, and that place is more or less a gear check, since there's a timer. But in this mode, with all 11 modifiers, there is no time trial. Well, you do sort of miss out on this gate if you don't finish with S rank, but it doesn't prevent you from earning all the rewards when clearing this whole mode. So you just need patience and dedication. And by no means do I claim to be a hardcore gamer or someone who is really good at these action games. On contrary, I'm probably average or below average at best, which means I have to work extra hard and train my reflexes and learn enemy patterns. But yeah, as you can see here, after a ton of hours putting into Zenless Zone Zero, we do arrive at a point where the game becomes pretty harsh, although the challenge is optional. I will say that the runs are obviously random. You could have a terrible start, getting bad Resonia or corruptions, which by the way are annoying in this final challenge. So you might need to restart a few times before you get into a good state and complete the first few floors. Anyway, hope you found this video useful, and I would really appreciate it if you could press the like button and subscribe to my channel. Also, make sure to download Pocket Champs using my link in the description to help support my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.